Topspeed is sponsored by the Olympia Region Zeeveld, Corporate Fashion Industries, Jordans.nl, ASC Group and State of Art Menswear.
Welcome to Topspeed and welcome to circuit Zolder, where I make my debut in my first 24-hour race, and that's the one of Zolder. It's crowded, somebody just came past the camera, but we don't mind. I'm going to do it together with two of my best friends. Jeroen van der Heuvel, my co-host the whole season, and my teacher. You got a lot of experience.
It's my 11th one, and yeah, I drove over all the world. Zolder, I did this the third time then. And but it's the first time in the Radical, and it's amazing how fast the car is, and I think we will enjoy it.
Also the first time for Ton Verkoelen, not in a 24-hour race, because we follow him for the last 7 years in all the 24-hour races you can imagine, but the first time in an open car for you.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's a new experience. It's a very fast car. I must learn a little bit, but we go enjoy it.
The 24 hours of Zolder is legendary. There's a big party going on. There's a discotheque in it. There are bands performing. So it's going to be a whole circus. So we're going to enjoy it. We hope that you do as well.
The 24 Hours of Zolder is one of the legendary 24-hour races from the past. But after problems with the different Belgian unions, the race had lost all its glory. But now it's back again after managing director of the Zolder racetrack, Thierry de Vlaanderen, took over. And BSOT director Dries Heijman brought the prototypes like Norma, Wolf, Ligier and Radicals into the race next to the GT cars. Race driver Bert Longin feels like home here.
Yeah, it's like it's in my garden, and I drove this race now, I think it's the 18th time. So I was in total 10 times on the podium, so I won 5 times, so I tried to win 6 times, but it will be very hard.
Can you explain to the people at home how special the 24 Hours of Zolder is?
Yeah, you still. For me, it's also very special because it's like a local race, but everybody likes it. It's like a big kermis, and the people, everybody in the Flanders speak about this race because there is some record to beat between Anthony and myself. So it's a lot of things going on the Twitter, on the Facebook, in the newspaper. So it's a lot of fun, and for us, it's still a big event. And for sure, there are less cars than 15 years ago. But anyway, it's a very exciting race for us, and the ambiance is great. You can see it on the people.
Dutchman Henk Thuis races the Radical V8.
I think it's amazing. You know, it's fantastic what we have at the moment. Between those, I would nearly say cannons, very good teams. You know, having a 4th place on the grid is very, very good. You can see the interest of everybody. I think this is something new in 24 hours. So really good open cars, close cars. I'm really looking forward on the race. And my plan is to come from 4th, and I like to lead this race for a few laps if possible. Yeah, really nice.
Toon, then you come here just to drive a race, just to race a race, and you see all these people here.
Yeah, it's very special for me that I see all the people, and that Henk asked me that I can drive in so perfect car. It's amazing. It's amazing that I can make the 24 Hours of Zolder.
How are you going to do a go in the 24 Hours of Zolder with a V8?
Yeah, we try it and do our best. It's amazing we're standing here on the 4th place, and we'll see what's happened. And,
have fun.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pole position for Edward Zandstrom in the Audi R8 LMS also sees Thierry de Vlaanderen. Second is the Mark VDS BMW Z4, and third the Pro Speed Porsche with Mark Goossens. And Henk Thuis is in 4th position with the Radical V8. Jeroen is the 2nd Radical and starts at position 11 with the SR3 SL. Rolling start from the first motorsport Porsche of Bert Longin. Henk Thuis has a good start with the Radical, and Zandstrom goes into the first left corner in leading position. Second is the BMW Z4, and Mark Goossens is careful. He knows this track very well, and although it's wide here, it's unnecessary to take any risk. The Radical is a new car in the 24 Hours of Zolder, and that's why they're in the prototype class. Up front, Henk Thuis said that today he wants to test the car in a long distance race and see how far he comes with it. But for sure it's fast enough. Going into the chicane, and Thuis follows well. There comes the attack of Mark Goossens, and he passes Sandstrom and he's in second position now. The Radical SR3 has an engine with two Suzuki Hayabusa 4-cylinders with 475 brake horsepower, and it weighs only 680 kilos. The car is very low and has enormous high corner speeds, and you can brake very late with it, and that experienced Edward Sandstrom here just before the hairpin. Thuis is in third position now. But Longchamp following in fifth position behind the Audi R8 LMS. The SL is doing well after losing some positions at the start, and Jeroen is fighting back here, overtaking the Avalon Wolf in the chicane. The SL has a Ford Eco turbo engine, and that one seems to be perfect for 24-hour races. But finishing needs more than just a good engine. Back to Henk Thuis, who makes the crowd cheering after he catches up with the two leaders in the race. Nobody expected the Radical to compete with the fast BMW and Porsche with decades of experience in long distance racing, and suddenly there's Henk Thuis behind them. Jeroen attacking the Wolf of Courtiers, looking for his chance. The only thing Thiers can do to defend his line is to block the inside of the chicane, but he doesn't. He would in a sprint race, but in a long distance race it's no use. Thiers also knows that Van den Heuvel is faster and gives him space. Sportive racing. The two leaders are gone, but Henk Thuis is chased by Sandstrom, seen from the Radical of Haven Racing with Tim Joosten behind the wheel. Look how the faster cars have to find their way between the slower ones. Thuis keeps his position until the drivers change, where he hands over the wheel to Ton van den Hater. Henk Thuis can look back to a great stint.
Yes, I did have a fantastic start, and out of the Radical, I must say, those cars in front of you look very big. That's what they are. But I passed Audi, and I could have tried to pass the Porsche, but you know, I didn't want to take a chance, and the pace was high. Absolutely, they were pushing hard, so I decided to simmer down a little bit.
But for me it was funny to see somebody pushing in a 24-hour race in the first 5 laps.
Yeah, but I wanted to show the public that a Radical is ready to really go very fast next year here. That's what we're going to do.
Jeroen climbs up to position 9 and the SL is doing very well. But also he's coming in for the driver's change and Ton Verkoelen takes over. Ton is an experienced race driver, but this is his first race in a Radical ever. So the most important task for him is to learn to handle the car and bring it back in one piece. Jeroen looks back to his first stint.
It was a tough one. At the start happened some things and I have to lose some places because of safety. And after that we're going to push and because they won't let me pass because it's a race. And after that the brakes were too hot, pulled out the corner there. So I have to push back and I have to drive 140s and then the car is okay. If you drove 138, the brakes won't hold it and the engine is too warm. So we have to keep this pace.
Heinrich Langforman comes in and Nick Schuibroek takes over for Haven Racing. Langforman had a good stint.
It was great. It was great. I very much enjoyed it. I mean, I overtook the touring cars and GT cars in the first few laps, which was a bit difficult. But after that, I could get into a good swing and get close to one of the Wolves and had a fight with him all stint long. It's great. I mean, the circuit is really good. You get into a swing of it, and it's great fun.
For me, the race starts when Ton is called in, and I'm quite nervous for my first 24-hour race ever. The car does well, and although it's not my first time in the SR3, and I've been racing many sprint races now, a 24-hour race is something different.
En, hoe was die?
Ja, zwaar, maar lekker. Heerlijk om in te rijden.
Het is buiten een graadje of 27. Heb je er last van?
Nee, absoluut niet. En de wagen is gewoon heerlijk en je wordt alleen maar moe van het opletten en van nieuwe dingen leren. Maar ik vond het wel lekker gaan.
En qua bochtensnelheid?
Ja, kan ook veel harder. Je moet veel meer harder de bocht ingaan. Hij gaat vanzelf eigenlijk, de auto. Het is een fantastische wagen met rijden, maar je bent toch iedere keer voorzichtig en dan ga je te langzaam.
As soon as I'm in the car, the tension makes place for concentration and it goes well for me. But in the pit lane, Henk Thuis has to give up because of an unexpected reason.
Yeah, we were very quick and actually everything went all right. But we need to start the car with external starter, and so when we get out the second time, we had a report, we get a warning, because we cannot start the car with an external battery. So now the rule says you can start it inside the box, then you have to turn it off, go outside to start again. Yeah, how? I have no external battery in the box, so it doesn't make any sense to continue, because we can't start the car without the external battery outside here. So we decided not to continue, because that's a waste of time and money.
Topspeed is sponsored by the Olympia Region Zeeveld, Corporate Fashion Industries, Jordans.nl, ASC Group and State of Art Menswear. Welcome back to Top Speed, where Jeroen van den Heuvel, Ton Verkoelen and I debuted in the Radical SR3 SL during the 24 Hours of Zolder in Belgium. After the first stints of Jeroen and Ton, I took over the wheel and now the sun sets. Behind me the Wolf GB8 with Court Dujardin behind the wheel, who's pushing. Not only for one lap, but he's there for more than 7 laps now, and although I see his bright lights in my mirrors constantly, I have to keep concentrating on the track in front of me. Luckily enough, I can keep the gap big enough so that I can keep racing my own lines, and also Kurt is a gentleman driver who races with respect. The circuit of Zolder is a very technical track with 2 chicanes and a hairpin. The brakes get very hot on a track like this, so it is important to handle the car with care. Also, on several spots the walls are very nearby, so a mistake can be fatal here. But if you concentrate well, this is a perfect racetrack to improve your skills. Here we see the beautiful sunset, and to be honest, it's really a privilege to race here on this part of the day in an open race car. Nick Schuibroek comes in and Tim Joost is taking over, and also Benny Goossens did his first stint and is enjoying the race.
I started a bit slow, but gradually I proceeded, and it went better and better and better. So with this you can start a bit slower, that's no problem, but you gradually improve and you get better, and you have to settle in the race, of course. That's the big problem in an endurance race.
In the meantime it gets dark and the race is a different game now.
The night stints are beginning at this moment, and it has a special form of driving the car because you have to looking for your brake points. The only thing you have is the lights in the car, and you have to do it on your own, and you have to trust on yourself, and I like it very much.
Jeroen is taking over from Ton, and now the temperature is way lower than during daytime. The cars are faster, but the side on the track is way less. Also, the radicals are very low, and especially from the slower GT cars, it's difficult to notice them. That is why the radical drivers have to be extra careful when taking over in the corners, because the GT cars might not see them. The race is halfway now, and most cars are still in the race when Jeroen has a problem. The engine overheats, and in order not to kill it, he stops the car. Half a lap more could have blown the engine, and so Jeroen is towed back into the pits.
I was on the back on the circuit and I heard a great bang. Temperature goes up.
Now the mechanics are going to try to find what it is. Yep. And if they found it, they probably can fix it in less than a tenth of the time which we normally use in garages when we have a problem with our street cars.
Yeah, and where we pay 12 hours.
Yeah. So yeah, we hope they're gonna fix it. But one thing I'm glad about, that you were behind the wheel and not me, buddy.
The mechanics can fix the problems, although it takes a few hours, and so Ton gets into the car again at the break of day. Kevin Friedrichs explains.
The head gasket was blown, so that was quite a big repair. But luckily we had one with us, because it's not a part that's usually broken. But we did manage to fix it. We let the driver sleep and we woke him for about an hour when we were just finishing up the car. So Ton is on the track right now, and we'll see how it holds.
Over the first few laps Ton takes it easy, but the Radical is okay again, and after a few laps Ton goes top speed again, while I'm watching.
I'm a little bit jealous of Ton because he's driving for me in the most beautiful time of the race. Sunrise is something special. The difficulty for the drivers who've been coming out from the dark into the daylight is that the eyes have to get used to the other light and focus on the depth is completely different. So I wanted to be in the car at this time, but because of the bad luck we had, I couldn't. So I'm going in after Ton, and then we're just gonna finish the race.
Like in every 24-hour race, more and more teams have mechanical problems, so having a problem doesn't necessarily mean that the race is over. KRK races the SR3 SR with a 1.5-liter Suzuki Hayabusa engine, which goes remarkably well after 18 hours. All the radicals are still in the race, except for the V8 of Henk Thuis, but he's out not because of a technical failure, but because it's not allowed to start with an extra battery. Benjamin Bailey is satisfied.
It's a really good stint. Now we came back in the lead of the class and fourth in general. So what else could it be? Now we change the brake to be 100% sure to finish the race with no problem. And then fingers crossed, everything will go smooth.
Also, the Haven Radical is doing well. Tim Joos is in the car and he's behind the Domag Radical and the Q-Vink Ligier. The Domag Radical has to brake really hard there in the corner in order not to touch the Ligier. But a short while later it goes wrong for the Ligier and it comes into the pit lane heavily damaged. Apparently a wheel bolt broke and driver Eric Q-Vink is lucky that this car didn't crash totally. If the only problem is the wheel bolt, the car will be back on the track in half an hour again. Ricardo Brutjen in the KRK Radical behind the Avalon Wolf of Rafael van der Straten. Radical is faster, but I don't think he will make it just before the hairpin, so the attack will come afterwards. There comes the hairpin, so he stays behind him, and then for sure coming out of it he will try to pass him. Van der Straat is going to the right and is pointing take the inside. He knows that the Radical is faster, so well done. Heinrich Langferman in the Radical behind the Porsche of Frank Thiers, and the Porsches are way faster on the straight, but the Radicals brake later before the corners, as you can see here, and coming out of the corners, there's another one. The corner speed of the Radicals is way higher, and here you can see that the Porsche is running away again, but then there comes the hairpin, and for sure the Radical is braking way later, and now he passed the Porsche. This was it for Langferman, who had a great 24-hour race.
This was my last stint, and the car is as beautiful as it was at the start of this race, so all credit to Radical.
The winner of the 24-hour race of Zolder 2012 is the Audi R8 LMS of WRT, followed by Pro Speed competition with the Porsche 911, and in third position it's Belgium Racing with the Porsche 997 GT3. KRK Racing is fourth and wins the prototype class. And for me it's an honor that my team lets me finish in the 24 hours of Zolder.
Timmy! Congratulations, my friend. Well done.
Fantastic.
Ah, that was great. Was it great, Tim?
It was fantastic. Great to have a night race, a 24 hours race in such a car.
And look at the crowd. Look at the people. It's unbelievable.
It's like a Le Mans feeling.
Yeah. One other dream came true. Pah. It was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great fun. Unfortunately, I was a little bit sick at night, but for the rest, it was the three guys did a great job. The guys here did a great job. We had some fuel problem. Everybody probably saw the flames behind the car, but it was incredible the solution the team made for that, and which gave us this position. Otherwise, we wouldn't have made it. So, thanks to the team and thanks to those three guys.
Finish a race with a Radical is one thing, but
an open car.
In an open car, but Karaka did it with no problem at all. So that's another thing.
So congratulations to you all. This was Top Speed for this week. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.
Top Speed is sponsored by the Olympia Region Zeeveld, Corporate Fashion Industries, Jordans.nl, ASC Group and State of Art Menswear.